Good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. In this week, just a quick reminder, US market is closed today, Monday the 17th, January 17th. So hope everyone in our US side is having a great long weekend. Now let's get prepared. There are a ton of tickers that are looking amazing. This is one of the harder weeks that for me to pick out a few tickers that are looking the best. Now, the other thing is, starting this week, we will be back to full schedule of our videos, and that means every other day, if not a little bit more. So thank you for your patience through the holidays. Took some very nice time off, and hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. Happy 2022. Let's get back into it, full schedule. All right, before we get into the ticker today, I wanted to discuss a couple things. Obviously, market has been bearish, and there is this SPX potential head and shoulders we're looking at before. Now, with the potential head and shoulders pattern, making these lower trend lines are even more important to hold. As of right now, the after hours on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, we are seeing bearish action, and is very, very crucial coming into next week that we're going to need to see bullish follow through after this hammer huge bull volume on Friday. Very crucial. If we're to lose any of these, and if you haven't seen the last video we made on Wednesday discussing what each of these four lower trend line means, make sure to check it out. They are very crucial. Each of them has their own meaning, and essentially right now we are watching this bottom zone on SPX as well as NAS. We're watching this bottom zone as well. So with those being lost, there's probably gonna be, it doesn't matter what ticker you're gonna pick, they're not going to be playing out as what I'm anticipating. And that may be the sign to get the fuck out and start playing bears. All right, let's get into the tickers. First one we are looking at, I really like it, is QCOM. And that is not it. QCOM. Qualcomm, all-time high zone, bearish divergence, no follow through, and the weekly bull flag in new all-time high zone. This is looking strong, bullish as hell. I don't know how else to say it. You know, looking at this, we're actually holding the 0.238, not even coming down to the 0.386, 0.382. I think I'm getting the numbers wrong here. 0.236 and 0.382. Yeah, so we're actually holding the 0.236 and not even coming down to the 0.382. This is one of the strongest chart across the board on my screen, at least. Of course, there are other tickers that we're going to also discuss that are stronger, but this one is so set up, so ready to go. QCOM, new all-time high close. The highest close ever on that weekly, and we're looking for that follow through, increasing bull volume coming into next week. Very nice weekly bull flag. Looking at this to play out, and if it does, we are anticipating a huge move on QCOM. Next one, the next couple actually are going to be more so a little bit sector related versus individual tickers, and depending, so just make sure you know what you want to play, what your game plan is, have that ready. First one is going to be MU, Micron Technology. Similar idea, all-time high bull flag on that weekly as well. It's either going to be a really strong bull flag if we're to confirm next week, or it's going to be a little bit more sideways action before the actual confirmation, because we have not touched that weekly 8 yet. So this was the last weekly bull flag, confirmed weekly bull flag on, oh no, this divergence does not, yeah, so daily divergence, no follow through, very similar to QCOM. Micron Technology, highest close ever. Whew, ready to go. Now, the other one in the same sector is TSM. Now, looking at this chart, I do believe there is going to be higher prices come, but there's probably going to be a little bit of a sideways consolidation first. So you look at this GP hold, breakout of this long-term sideways action. Finally got the breakout, immediate back test. This was the perfect entry, and boom, earnings, huge gap up. This earnings was 6%. I think at one point it was about 7% gap up, and next day it was a gap down, immediate buy up. With the upper wicks, I do believe that there's going to be a little bit of a sideways action, daily bull flag formation, and from there we should see that next leg move up. And if you are not sure which one to play, even AMD is looking fairly decent. But regardless, because it is a sector, if you're not sure which one to play, the other way that you could consider is using some sort of ETF, mutual fund kind of thing. One of my personal favorite is this SOXL, the 3 times leverage bull for semiconductors. This plays really well when it's in the right direction. SOXL, SOXS, but the volatility of it will make sure that you get paid as long as you're playing the right direction. So that's something to consider if you're not sure which ticker to pick of the semiconductor space. The third top pick of this week is gonna be Apple. Look at this, man. There was this short-term temporary trend line, and on the last pullback we held. Then now we're seeing a potential higher low. It's a very similar idea to the market coming Monday, Tuesday. Coming Tuesday, we're gonna need to see that follow through. And if we're to look at the weekly, this is a weekly bull flag as well. In new all-time high zones, there is no resistance on the left-hand side. We should see follow through once the confirm of this weekly bull flag. There should be some decent move with extension target up at 193. That would be the minimum first target that I'm looking at for Apple. On the other hand, if you were to looking at playing something a little bit opposite of Apple, trying to bottom fish, would be Amazon. And looking at Amazon, this is a very strong support, multiple bounces from before. And looking at the daily, we did not lose that previous low. We did see a huge wick under, nice hammer, immediately bought up, and now there's 2 trend lines. Initially we were tracking this before, but now there is a short-term trend line over here. Can probably redraw this actually, daily. So looking a little bit more like that. This trend line will be that first go signal, but easy bottom fish here. Stop just below on last Monday's low. Very easy stop. And from here, bottom fish. Once we get going, if Apple were to get going, if the FANGs were to get going, I do believe this is going to see some very nice move. But we're going to have to watch for the reaction on this upper trend line over here. And in this case, if you don't know which ticker to play, the other one you could consider would be FNGU. Very similar to the SOXL. This is a 3-time leverage bull play for the FANGs. But if you were to look at the underlying asset, it does also include Baba and Baidu, which personally, if I'm looking at the chart for those two, Baba, Baidu, they are having a daily trend reversal already as well. So FNGU, 3 times leverage for bull, if you're not too sure what to pick for on the FANG side. And the fourth pick that we're going to talk about is Tesla. Now this one, this particular sector, there's going to be 3 tickers to discuss, and there's not really, we'll get into it. All right, so let's take a look at Tesla. This short-term trend line that's formed from this previous bounce at 886 as well as this previous bounce at 980. We are seeing a hold of that on Friday, and follow through will be needed coming Tuesday. Once this starts getting moving, we could see some very nice move coming in. Now, if we're to look at the monthly chart, this is somewhat of a sideways consolidation, decreasing volume so far. So I do believe there might be another month or 2 of sideways consolidation if we fail to make new all-time high coming up. But the chart is looking great, at least even for the shorter term. Ooh, do not want to lose a draw in there. All right. So even on the shorter term, if we're to make, there is a good chance that we can make to this previous resistance zone. That's going to be a 13-14% move alone right there. So that's Tesla. The other one that we're looking at is Lucid. A lot of people are thinking of shorting Lucid due to the sheer unlock. But when everyone's looking one direction, hey, you know what to do? Look the other direction. Market tends to do what everyone's not expecting. And if you look at the volume, huge bounce off the bottom, wicking right under from the GP and holding that money line. That money line that we've seen multiple bounces, multiple rejections before, holding that money line, huge bounce from this bottom. This is 37% bounce, coming back down to the 0.382. Looking at the volume of this consolidation, was a decreasing bear volume on the consolidation. Coming Tuesday, if we're to see some increasing bull volume, this will be looking very nice for at least that upper trend line touch, which will bring us to about $50. And that will be 18% move on Lucid. The other one that we have to mention, Cannot oversee this. And this we talked about before on potential weekly bull flag, and now we're seeing confirmation. We are getting extended on the weekly, we are definitely extended on the monthly, and we are somewhat seeing a daily bull flag forming on the daily. However, the way I look at this is this daily bull flag and try to confirm due to the market consolidation was a lack of confirmation. Friday was actually looking very good because this is ultimately a bullish engulfing candle, but the volume is not there, so a little bit concerning. Earnings is coming up on January 27th. That's why of the three on EV sector, I would put Ford probably a little bit behind the other two, especially considering how extended on the monthly it is. But regardless, this will be a nice momentum play. And also the other thing is this is a very clear 1 2 3 4 5 on the Elliott's wave pattern. So once the consolidation starts, there could be some decent downside on Ford. But regardless, right now the momentum is bullish, so play along with that trend. If you're not sure which one to pick, as for EV sector specific, you could consider either HAIL, HAIL, or was it IDRV? IDRV, yeah. The one of the two would be considered, but personally I would probably prefer to pick two individual stocks of the three versus doing an ETF on this one. And that's it for this week's top pick. To summarize, it is QCOM, MU, Apple, Tesla. Those four are my top watch. Really liking the setup on those four. And now let's get into the honorable mentions. I'll do a summary again. Honorable mentions, we have four here. And the reason why they're honorable mentions is because their trend, whether their trend are still in the downtrend, but very nice bottom fishing play potential like Amazon. Well, first one is going to be Unity Software. And we're looking at this platinum lining up with the key zone from previously, multiple resistances, multiple supports, and now we're seeing a potential for a reversal. If we're to reverse from here, first thing we're going to need to see is break above this trend line, and we should see some very decent upside. At least, even if it's let's take a look here. Even if we're to bounce to just the 0.38 or 0.5, 0.382 would line up with the resistance of 128, and that would be 8% move already. And if we're to looking at the bigger picture, once this trend actually reverses, the bounce, GP actually lines up with this previous resistance, and 0.382 also lines up with this previous resistance at about 151-ish. That will be a 28% move. So honorable mention for sure. The other one is BBIG. This one is seeing very nice move off of the bottom with a strong daily bull divergence, increasing bull volume, breaking over that resistance already. Now on this chart, we are not too extended yet. I can see another day or two of green coming up to this previous resistance zone before coming back down to make a higher low. But the chart is looking amazing. As from a linear regression point of view, we are at that top of the trend line for linear regression, so that we could be seeing a little bit of pullback from here. Regardless, the chart is not extended. It's not overbought on the daily. Shorter time frames, definitely overbought. Already, still bull flag. I can see further upside for this because we did break 3.61. Even if we're to pull back, let's watch for a back test of right here, 3.28. That would be an amazing entry for a higher low spot. Let's see if it lines up with fibs wise. Fibs is around that 0.5, so that makes sense to be a higher low from here if we pull back. Next one is DWAC, honorable mention. Ooh, very similar idea. Daily trend, very clear reversal. The low of 36.69 coming up to 66.31, and now we're seeing a higher low being put in and a higher high being put in already as well. The next resistance is coming up right now is looking like it wants to form a daily bull flag. So give it another 2 days. Daily bull flag, maybe the money line touch lining up with the daily 8, and I can see a very nice move on DWAC continuation. And last but not least is BA, definitely not least. Now BA, as we know, there is lots of fake out that BA likes to do. As we saw from here, breakdown fake out, multiple breakdown fake outs from all of the previous wedges as well. But after the breakdown fake out, what happens? Huge move. What happens after breakdown fake out? Huge move. Same over here, huge move. So this could potentially be the move coming up. Let's watch if there's going to be a higher low. There is a shorter term upper trend line that we are closing right on it right now. If we were to form a daily higher low, earnings is coming up on January 26th. This could be a very nice spot for earnings, somewhere around here. Sorry, for higher low, not for earnings. For higher low, even if we pull back to the 0.5, that does line up with previous support resistance right around 206. BA, honorable mention as well. So quick summary: Qualcomm, QCOM, MU, Apple, Tesla, those are the 4 top watches. If you're not too sure what to play on the semi side, consider SOXL. If you're not too sure what to play on the FANG side, consider FNGU. Those are triple leverage, so just make sure you know what that means. You know what that means by holding long term. You are going to be paying some sort of interest on it, not directly through your account, but hey, look it up. Look up what it means. But hey, that's it. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you know anyone that may benefit from the videos that we share, the content that we share, please consider sharing our channel with them. Again, thank you all for being extra patient through the holidays for the lack of video, but we are going back to full video schedule coming up next week. Also, keep an eye out for that next video coming out later tonight. It is going to be our first educational video in quite some time. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.